Hello, my name is Dennis Hughes, and I'm going to be talking about the graphics pathway leading to the awarding of Design Technology GCSE. At Sorcha, we offer two different pathways to the GCSE. Design Technology Graphic Materials focuses on paper and boards. Design Technology Resistant Materials focuses on timber and manufactured boards. One of the most commonly asked questions is what's the difference between the two? Well, fundamentally, they are the same GCSE. They both lead to the awarding of the same design technology certificate, and there is no reference on that certificate to either graphic pathway or resistant materials pathway. The difference tends to lie in the emphasis and for what questions the students are prepared for in the final exam. You will notice from the diagram that there is some overlaps between the two courses. All students for design technology will learn about core materials knowledge. So graphic students will learn about resistant materials, metals, plastics, textiles, and electronic systems, and likewise so will the resistant materials students. At the end of year 10, all the students will start their major project, and again, there is nothing about the pathway that they are on that limits them in terms of what materials or what they design for their major project. And as you will go on to see, many graphic students will make use of resistant materials in their final model making. The core knowledge represents many different topics relating to the manufacture of products. So all students will learn to at least the level of core about plastics, textiles, metals, resistant materials of other kinds as well. Likewise, mechanisms and structures, as well as electronic components and new and developing materials. Graphic pathway students, though, for their specialist technical knowledge, will focus on those manufacturing processes relating to paper and board products. So commercial printing processes like offset lithography and flexography, how paper and board are made and the Fourdrinier process, as well as print finishing processes like embossing, laminating and die cutting, which are used in making paper and board products. All the students will learn about those issues which relate to the designing of products. They will learn about ergonomics and anthropometrics and understanding how you can design products to fit the needs, both psychological and physical, of the target user. Sustainability in the environment and the impact of designing and consuming on our environment, as well as developing strategies for graphic communication, being able to sketch, to communicate ideas to themselves or to others, as well as an appreciation of design history and the work of other designers. The course is assessed over two parts. 50% of the grade is based upon coursework, and that coursework starts at the end of year 10. The coursework is made up of a design folder leading to the making of a final model. You will see that the vast majority of the marks are based upon the work that is done in the design folder, with only 15% attributed to the model. The remaining 50% is based upon the student's performance in the final written examination, which takes place at the end of year 11. Traditionally, graphic products tend to be those products which were manufactured out of paper and boards. This new GCSE doesn't limit the student in what materials they can go on to model with. Here you can see some examples of what could be described as graphic products. It might be that they are graphical because they are trying to promote a product, trying to make it seductive and appeal to a target user. Or it could be that the product is about selling an idea. So the architectural model obviously has no function beyond showing what the architect's design is, the general layout of the building, and maybe suggesting what materials would be used. Likewise, the concept car. It's been made out of resistant materials, but it's still a graphic product in the sense that it is trying to communicate the appearance of this new concept. And the camera in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, hasn't been modeled to look like a camera, but it allows the designer and a target user to pick it up and sense whether it's comfortable to hold, whether they can reach the buttons they need to reach. The course also has a heavy emphasis on the use of computer-aided design, whether it be traditional sort of photo editing software to create graphics or modeling ideas in 3D CAD. This table gives a general overview of how the 3 years of the GCSE are organised. As you can see, the Year 9 and most of Year 10 are taken with smaller designing and making projects. Within those projects, there will be opportunities to link it to the core theory or specialist subject knowledge. At the end of Year 10, the examining board will release their design contexts and the students will respond to those and start their major project, which will dominate their time for most of Year 11, alongside more specialist subject knowledge and obviously preparing for examinations and the final written exam. The major project. Whereas in the past, students would have been given a choice of things to design and make, this new GCSE and the new coursework is based upon design contexts. And the design context might or will not mention what the student is trying to solve, or what they are going to design, or what they're going to make. That is down to the student to investigate and identify their own personal project within that context. This is best illustrated by looking at how previous students have responded to the design context that they had. This student chose the Promoting Healthy Lifestyles design context, and then investigated that context and identified the problem of getting young people to be more active. What you see is his final design and his model, which was a information stand, freestanding information stand, which might be placed in a sports centre or a community centre. And it offered advertising for the local youth football, but also places for leaflets and flyers to be stored, which might be promoting and informing about other kind of clubs that the young person might be interested in. Likewise, this student chose the same context, but took it in a different direction. Here you can see that they chose to address the issue of trying to encourage good routines and habits in young people with regards to brushing their teeth. The model, or the final outcome, is an Mdf model which just shows the appearance of what would be an electronic product. It has a pretend LCD screen on there, and the idea behind it was that the young person, as they were brushing their teeth, would receive messages from the product encouraging them to brush certain areas, prompting them as to how to be more effective in their brushing, but also ensuring that they brush for long enough. This student also took the opportunity to do some graphic design in the front cover design for their instructional booklet. Here we've got a student who chose a different design context, which focused on the needs of the disabled. And within that, she identified the problem of the elderly and those who are trying to manage quite large medication regimens, lots of different pills to be taken at different times in different circumstances. She too designed an electronic product with an interactive screen, and this product would dispense the pills into the little cup. It would also prompt them with instructions and questions about the medication, trying to see if they understood what they were taking and what its purpose was. What did that particular drug or medication do? It also had a little 3D printed container on the side for those occasions when the user might be going away for the day and needs to take all the medication with them. And again, this product, which was like a smartwatch, tried to address the issues for parents who are disabled with hearing impairment and the anxiety they might have with regards to looking after their children. She chose to broaden her project out to include a promotional stand which would present the product in a shop. It is made out of MDF and a drape moulded piece of acrylic and some 3D printed elements as well. So here you can see a perfect example of how graphic students can, in their major project, go on to use resistant materials where they deem it appropriate. The GCSE in Design Technology offers a good foundation for those young people who might be considering a career in some kind of design-related industry. The skills, whether they be ICT skills or an awareness of the design process and the idea of the iterative design process and designing ideas to try and solve a problem, are relevant to every single area of design. There's also transferable skills as well, which would be of use to a student who might be going into an unrelated industry. For example, time management skills, communication skills, whether it be ICT or giving presentations, and a deeper awareness and understanding of the commercial world as well, of business. So if you are considering doing either of the design technology pathways, but especially the graphics pathway, okay, these are some of the key qualities you need to have. First of all, you need to enjoy designing, not just the model making, okay, but also be interested in trying to come up with design solutions to problems. You need to be prepared to get better at managing your time. Your major project will represent the biggest project that you've ever had to manage. And you will make a lot of use of ICT in your designing, whether it be two-dimensional CAD in creating engaging images or modeling things in 3D. Having said that, you aren't expected to be brilliant at art to do design. Your sketching skills will get better, your hand drawing skills will improve, but sketches and drawings serve a different purpose in our subject, and you will get to a stage where you are effective in your sketching, that you can communicate ideas to yourself and others. And in relation to the ICT, again, you don't need to be a computer whiz kid. You just need to be enthusiastic about the opportunities that computers offer us in terms of the quality of the work that we can produce. Thank you for listening to this. If you want to know more, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me at the school.